Hi, Demi here. Now today I'm talking about mods in rimworld and the 5 mods that I reckon you should check out in 2021. Now these are the 5 mods that are my personal favorites and you should check out because they are pretty interesting. I just want to say I have a lot of mods on rimworld. I have like 275 mods or whatever. It's a rough number, it may not exactly be accurate, but let's just say I have a shit ton of mods, and my mod folder is coming up to about 1 gigabyte, so yeah. Anyway, let's get into this episode in 5 mods you should check out in 2021. Okay, so the first up on our list is of course the Pokemon, wild Pokemon. Now, if you are a fan of Pokemon, this mod is for you, as I am. It's basically my childhood. As you can see here, we have a Charizard, a Bulbasaur, and a Dragonair, as well as some other animals, but forget about them, they're not Pokemon. So, what does this mod exactly do? Well, as you may have guessed, it adds Pokemon animal like that Charizard. So, essentially it adds Pokemon. However, that's not all it adds. It also adds this Pokeball, which is a bed. It is a bed for your animals. I'm pretty sure, let's see. It says, as it says here, a comfy bed for your Pokemon and other creatures. Now, this is a poor quality bed, but you can build a better one. So, essentially it has the terrain requirement of light, and it's essentially a bed, but it has an immunity gain speed factor of 1.7, as well as a rest effectiveness of 92% and a surgery success chance of 48%, as well as an Android surgery success chance of 72% if you have the Android mod. So, pretty good, but that's not just it. Each Pokemon has their own lever. So, I made a butchering spot and a stockpile, so we're just going to go ahead and get our Dragonair that we slaughtered. Yes, we slaughtered it for very good reason. Science, of course. So essentially, we want to go ahead and add the bill to butcher creature. Do forever. And he'll slaughter it and butcher it. It's already slaughtered, so he'll butcher it. And you'll just see what it gives. In retrospect, I'm going to slaughter all the Pokemon just to show you the different levers they can give. There are more levers than just these, by the way, also. The meat that the Dragonair gave is dragon meat. Dragon Pokemon give dragon meat, as well as any type of Pokemon gives a respective type of their meat. And this here Pokemon also gave heated leather. Now, something about heated leather is that if you check here, it tells you what Pokemon give it. Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, Cyndaquil, Krillava, Typhlosion, Flareon, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Mega Charizard, Axe, Ponyta, and Rapidash. Now, not all the Pokemon are in this mod, but a lot of Pokemon are. So, essentially, it has a nice little red color, and personally is my favorite lever out of all of my mods. You might be wondering, oh, but what do grass Pokemon give? Well, grass Pokemon are pretty interesting. So we're going to slaughter our Bulbasaur. And if we go ahead and butcher, can we butcher? So we're going ahead to butcher the Bulbasaur. This save is basically going on the toilet after I'm done with it. So, yeah. Now if we go ahead and butcher it. Alright, so we're butchering it and... Alright, now this is interesting. Grass Pokemon give mossy leather. Of course they're grass. But they also give herbal meat. Which, to be honest, just sounds fantastic. Herbal meat. As well as all grass Pokemon also give fruit. Usually agave fruit, but they give, I think they can give other types of fruit also, but mainly agave fruit. So yeah, let's see, what does Charizard? We actually check what Charizard gives for here, and Charizard gives fiery meat. I'm not going to slaughter him, because I've spent enough time doing this, but he also gives heated leather as we went over, because he's a fire type Pokemon. So yeah, and also I want to say I'm pretty certain this mod is compatible with Giddy Up, as if you have Giddy Up, you can ride basically any animal, and Charizard is an animal, so technically you can ride a Charizard, as Giddy Up is, if I'm certain, compatible with mods, specifically modded animals. So yes, you can have your colonists riding a Charizard. Yes, you actually can. It says cannot mount animal needs guard training. So you train it in guard, and there you go. You can ride a Charizard. Moving on to the next mod. Now, in this mod, I want to feature a mod you've probably heard about from a YouTuber, but I think this mod needs covering. Now, as you can see, we are in an extreme desert or whatever, but don't worry about that, because here you can make a natural hole. Yes, we are talking about the Z-level mod. The Z-level mod. So if we prioritize this guy to work on it. Botched. It's always got to botch it. Here we go. Now if we go down. It's going to take a while to load. God, I hope my game didn't crash. Okay, so my game finally loaded. It took a while to load. I really thought it was going to crash. Now, as you can see here, we are underground. And I believe it's cooler underground because it's underground. Now, as you might be wondering, we've got this tiny little hole right here. There's also these. I don't know what these are. Steam gazers. Steam gazers. Alright, alright. So, as far as I'm aware of, this mod is in its beta and is still being fleshed out and everything, but essentially I can mine underground, get minerals. You can basically get minerals, metals, rocks, all that sort of stuff from underground, and even build an underground base. This mod adds so much to the game, Z-Levels does. It doesn't just add underground. As you can see here, we have a new interface for people who are underground and people who are above ground. But let's just say I go ahead and build a house, because it doesn't just do underground. Now, you can also get these stairs, which are called stairs, wooden stairs up, or whatever you make them out of. Now, basically, you can just click go up in a building, also underground, but I'm not 100% certain how you get materials from upground to underground. But if my game is doing this again, it's because it's loading a new area for the first time. That's what I believe it is, so we just gotta wait. I can't even move. Like, here we go. So as you can see, he's upstairs, and I'm pretty sure I can build up here. Like, let's see, can I build up here? Yes, I can build up here. So, pretty interesting. You can have a second floor on your shelter, which is pretty cool, by the way. So this mod, well, it's in its beta, and of course, betas aren't 100% done. There are still, from what I believe about it, still bugs with this mod and stuff. However, it is getting updates, and to be honest, this does add some pretty interesting stuff about it. As you can see, you've got this tab for people on different floors. I don't know how to get them out of here. But this mod does get a recommendation from me, because it adds so much potential for gameplay. So much potential for gameplay. And I think it's pretty goddamn cool. Now, I know to get him up, I need wooden stairs up. But, yeah. I could mine this marble here, because all around me is marble. And just get some marble chunks. And then make a marble staircase going up, I think. I think that's how you would do it. So, yeah. Pretty cool. And see, once you got stairs up, they'll automatically, when they need to go up and down, as he was just up as you saw. So, now, moving into next mod. Now, next mod in my list is Cactaceae, or however it is pronounced, I don't know. Basically, this mod adds, as you can see, cactus people, and it is the clear number 3 on my list. To be honest, cactus or cacti are my favorite plant in the whole wide world. When I saw this mod, I was like, oh my god, yes, yeah. Now, I believe they can survive in the heat. a little bit better than other races can because they are cactuses. Now, in order to get this mod working, which I should have mentioned earlier, you need the humanoid races core mod in order for this mod to work. Now, a little bit of history on this mod. This mod has legit died twice. Now, it's been abandoned twice. First by the first modder, then someone who picked it up, if I'm certain, unless it's the same person, and then what happened was Miles on Steam, who basically brings mods back from the dead, has brought this mod back, and it is pretty cool. They also have some actual other interesting perks. We build this wooden flower pot. Now I'm going to pause it real quick, because someone's going to come along. Now we can plant plants, and one of the plants with this mod is the cactus, which, to be honest, has to be my favorite plant to plant. Now, it's not as good as other plants on the list that you can plant, but I just like seeing the cactus. Now, this guy's gonna plant the cactus, and just wait till you see it. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? How it dances along in the wind. It looks pretty good. What is its beauty rating? Well, it has a 10. It has a 10. So, pretty good. Pretty good. I think other plants are a little bit better than it, but it's pretty good all in all. I don't know if I'm getting extra bonuses because it's in the desert. However, pretty good. As well as that's just not it. That's just not it with this mod. This mod continues to give, as there is a weapon. It's called the Long Needle. So essentially this mod, if we get this guy to pick it up, it is basically a long piercing mod weapon modeled after a cactus spine, only craftable by cactoids. So only cactoids can craft this. Now you can craft it at an electric smithy or a fueled smithy, and basically what this plant is, it has a melee damage per second of 388. It has a melee armor penetration by 27%. It's not usable with shields, and it is, in my honest opinion, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So this is the Cactaceae mod. I think that playable cactoids, or cactus, or cacti, however you want to pronounce it, is pretty cool. To be honest, this mod makes a game where it's one of the only games where I can play as a cactus. That is pretty genius. And as I said, I do love cactuses or cacti, so yeah, this mod is definitely worthy of a number 3 on my mod list. So now we're gonna get into next mod. Now, next mod on my list, as you can see, I've chosen a tribal stuff for very good reason, as the next mod I am featuring is primitive. Now this makes a richer and a lot harder early game, as basically, you won't start with bows and clubs. Instead, you'll get a club, but I don't think you'll be able to make them unless you have the tech for it. However, there are new weapons with this mod, such as the boomerang, which you may have seen in my Let's Play that I did yesterday, as well as this weird weapon called an or whatever, I don't know, it's unpronounceable, but it is basically an ancient weapon where it's basically a stick, and you put an arrow in this hole at the top of the stick, you like swing the stick about, and the arrow fires out of the hole. So basically it is the weapon that people had before the bow was invented. And there are many more other stuff with this mod, such as primitive research spots, which are basically a research spot that is like the worst research spot in the whole entire game. There's also primitive stone cutting spots. As well as we don't just have spots, we also have other stuff such as these totems. Now I'm not going to build all this stuff, but basically there are wooden animal totems, insect animal totems, and animal wisdom totems, which are basically art that you can build, as well as there's storage stuff such as food baskets and stone pots. Now many of the stuff I can't craft right now on the save. It does, in my opinion, make a richer start. Now, for technology with this mod, basically you'll start on a tribal start researching primitive production to get rid of the horrible crafting spot and research spot, and basically getting some great stuff such as stone butcher table, primitive crafting table, stone kiln, which basically makes tools and stuff, as well as many other stuff, which like a stone research table and all that stuff, which will then allow you to go on to either primitive tools and actually get some way better tools than a stupid stick that fires arrows and a boomerang. Basically tools like throwing rocks, hatchets, pillars, short bows, maces, stone mallets, and stone hammers, and stuff like that. Or you may decide to skip that entirely. I don't recommend doing. Boomerangs suck, like, let's be honest here. Or you can go into advanced primitive interaction and get many stuff such as sculptures and large sculptures and a simple research bench, which you get in this one here, from this one. Basically, you can go in a straight line from primitive reduction to advanced primitive interaction, or whatever it's called, I can't say the full word, and then go into electricity. So basically, you can get an electricity start. I wouldn't say pretty early, because, you know, you're Neolithic, but you can get it in 1, 2, 3, as long as you have passive coolers, because there is a mod that basically removes all starting tech. Added with this mod makes for a really hard start, and I recommend trying that out with a mod that removes starting tech. Typically one that is optional, as you don't want to start with no tech at all. However, as you can see, where I am, I thought I was in a desert, but I'm not. But if you are in a desert, you're gonna die from no passive coolers with that method. So don't do it if you're playing in a desert or an extreme desert. Personally, I would recommend like a temperate forest to do this in, as it is pretty interesting. But that mod with a no research mod, personally I recommend trying it out at least once. You'll probably die to no passive coolers, but it's worth a try. I actually have gotten lucky a couple of times and actually researched passive coolers. But as you know, with all starts, you always start with passive coolers. So yeah. So if you're not using the no research mod, you'll still have passive coolers with this mod. Anyway, I just wanted to share that little tidbit out, as it's pretty interesting when you combine those two mods. But the primitive mod is basically great, as it adds for a richer early game and makes it more interesting. Specifically having really crap weapons, and I just find that makes it more fun for me, and maybe it'll make it more fun for you. I can see people hating it, so if you're not in the grind and stuff, like, it takes forever to kill stuff off of a boomerang. I'm just gonna be completely honest. So yeah, as boomerangs don't do cut damages, they do bruise damages. Anyway, that is it for this mod, as that is pretty much it for this mod, as all of it isn't released yet. The guy who is producing it is still releasing it, and he said he'll release it over time. So it is very much a work in progress. Now, moving on to the final mod. For our final mod, I am going to show you, it is a biomod, it is a biomod. Now, there are these little islands. Yes, I'm talking about the Better Biomes mod. It was featured in one of Ambiguous Amphibians playthroughs, and I personally recommend, if you haven't checked out this mod yet, you should definitely check it out. So there's these little islands. Now, they add new biomes. There's also like tropical islands and atolls, which I believe are brand new biomes. There's also temperate forest biomes that are islands, as well as desert islands. They aren't new, but they're made to look like an island. However, we're going to go to an atoll, because why not? Now, there is, of course, as you can see, tropical islands don't have any new stones, as it's marble and limestone on this island right here. But if we go to an atoll, it has corals. Now, corals, in my opinion, I think is the coolest metal or stone in the goddamn game that is a mod. So let's get into it. Now, as you can see, on this island is an atoll. It basically has a lagoon in the center, and you've got all this landmass. It's very limited in the landmass, but I thought this was like landmass off the coast. But never mind, it's shallow water. actually this landmass right here. But that's too small to build on and it's outside the borders. But however, you got this limited landmass, so it makes it good for a survival island type of playthrough. And as you can see, there are these corals, which to be honest, that actually looks like brains. I'm just gonna be honest. Basically, they make corals, and personally, in my opinion, coral furniture is some of the coolest furniture I have ever seen. Yes, you can craft it into furnitures. What do I think of this mod? Well, it's pretty good, but we haven't even got over to the animals yet, as the animals are the best part. Now, I don't know what is mods and what is not, as on this island right now, I have needle rolls and sand squids. I don't know if they are with this mod, but what I do know is with this mod is these flamingos, I believe they are with this mod. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong. I also know from Ambiguous Amphibians Let's Play of his Survival Islands that there is kiwis, omega dodos, and of course omega condors, as well as rim crabs. I'm pretty sure rim crabs are with this mod. Let's be honest, an island start, especially one that is in the shape of a donut, is pretty interesting, and to be honest, it's just cool seeing like raiders come up through here, through the water. Like, imagine they're probably like swimming through all the water to get to your island. Like, I just like to imagine that they're on a boat, and the boat drops them a little bit off from the island, and they're like, now go swim out to that island and raid it, and hopefully not die. And they come to your island with a club, and you have a revolver, and you shoot them in the face. That is what I like to think happens with raiders on this map. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And combine this mod with sea levels, which we covered earlier, basically gives you a whole new room to expand on this map, because let's be honest, this map is extremely limited. So couple this with Z mods, you have a really good map to expand on, and it's basically you get almost the whole map underneath it to build, as well as on top. And to be honest, that is freaking awesome. Let's be honest. You're probably going to crash or something, I don't know, because Z levels is pushing the game to its limits from what I can understand. That's why it probably lags when you go to a new level. It is pretty awesome, and I think that this mod, Better Biomes, it's Better Biomes Islands. Right now, as far as I know of recording, there is only the Islands Better Biome mod. There are actually others planned, and there are a lot of biome mods like Alpha Biomes and Advanced Biomes, but this one I personally find, Biomes Islands, it's just something that should have been in the game but wasn't in the game, because let's be honest, islands are a natural part of life, typically on planet formations. So yes, if you want to do an island playthrough, this mod is for you. Now that is the mods for this video. Now there are a lot of mods that could have potentially been on this top 5 list. I personally believe that 5 is not enough. However, I'm just doing 5 because I don't want to cram pack it with mods and overwhelm you with mods. However, if you want to check any of these mods out, of course, you can download them on the Steam Workshop. I will see if I can get links to these mods on the Steam Workshop. But for now, of course, remember that I am Demi Jack, and this is part of my new content plan to bring more content to the channel. Basically, I'm trying to take this year super serial on YouTube. Super serial. So, yeah. And I've been wanting to bring back helpful videos for a while now. Typically on rimworld mods. I've wanted to talk about rimworld mods for a long time now. Anyway, I am Demi Jack. And if you enjoyed this video and found it informational and found a few new mods, some of them you probably haven't heard about, some of them you probably have heard about, maybe you've heard about all of them, I don't know, but you should definitely check these mods out in 2021. They're not like super advanced, like change how the game actually works. Well, I guess the primitive mod can, as it changes the early gameplay on tribal starts. But, yeah, it is pretty goddamn cool. let's be honest, it is pretty goddamn cool, and I recommend these mods to anyone who wants to get a start in modding, as these mods are interesting, they're not boring, they don't change background stuff, they add new content, and I personally find that these mods are definitely up on my top, that 50 list of favorite mods. There are a lot more mods I could have included and want to include. I'll probably do another mod video, maybe more specific to like a certain thing, later down the line. Anyway, I am Demi. I've done enough yammering now. This outro's been going on far too long. I'll see you all next time. As always, I am Demi, and I'll see you in the next video.